Live from the Mac Tools U.S. Nationals, WFO Radio with Joe Castello. Take a walk through the Nitro pits as WFO Radio brings the U.S. Nationals to you. Racing fans from around the world, strap in and hold on. It's time to go WFO at the Big Go. Here's your host, Joe Castello.
WFO Radio from Lucas Oil Raceway. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our extended coverage of the biggest drag race in the world. And if you've been listening to my shows for a while, you know I like to start off each new broadcast with a big star in a big way to make up for my own personal insecurities. And so we have Alexis DeJoria, someone who I think is going to be a rock star in the sport. Alexis, welcome to the show.
Thank you. You're too kind.
I wouldn't say that.
Thank you for the compliments.
Well, you know, you have such a passion for drag racing, and we've talked on the show once before.
Yeah.
But not everyone here has a passion for drag racing. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here traveling around the country, working their fingers to the bone.
Right.
But some people, you can see it a lot more clearly. You are one of those people that we can see it very clearly.
Hey, well, thank you. I have a huge passion for the sport, you know, as well as Connie Kalita and their team that I'm going to be racing with here in a couple weeks.
We're right on the verge.
Yeah.
And
countdown.
The last time we spoke, you had yet to win an alcohol funny car. That has been remedied. Congratulations.
Thank you. In true dramatic form.
Let's talk about
huge.
that. You had set these goals for yourself, and you're accomplishing the goals.
Yeah, I mean, it was such a huge win. 5 years in the making. We've come so close so many times, and not just for myself, but for the team. They needed it so bad. You know, and going into our last two races, you know, I tried to just forget about everything and just have fun and enjoy every second of it. And then I won. You know, I was like, wow, gosh, I should have done this like a couple races ago. But, you know, coming out here today at the U.S. Nationals, I'm so much more relaxed now. It's like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders, and I can move forward with a clear conscience.
Isn't that a metaphor for life? For not just for drag racing, but for whatever you're doing. When you relax and just start having fun, that's when things fall into place.
Yeah, you got to enjoy yourself out here. I mean, really, it's not about the money, you know, because even the win money that you get goes straight back into your team, and you know, it's like a you know, complete turnaround. But yeah, I mean, these people are so passionate. The fans are so great. You know, we get one-on-one with them, unlike any other motorsport out there. It's so awesome. You
could have done so many different things, and to have you choose drag racing to invest your time and into is great for people that there's so much passion of this sport, and everyone is like, how can we do it? How can we make it bigger? How can we make it better? What can we do? And you're doing some things coming up in a couple of weeks. In Dallas, you're having a launch party.
Yes.
That is something we were talking
Patron
the other day.
style.
That is what drag racing has needed. Things go on at the track all day, but things leading up to the event at the track, things that are associated, other motorsports in the NFL, Major League Baseball, they all have these kind of things.
Yeah.
And you guys are taking a big step with that.
Mixing
I love it.
it up a bit, yeah, for sure.
And this is going on in Dallas, Texas at the at an apartment, at the apartment?
The apartment. It's going to be like a club scene. There's going to be a DJ, and it's going to be fantastic. I can't wait.
And Patron, which is
Patron style, yeah.
Which is very nice. Which is very nice. Now the
class act.
The step into the Nitro Funny Car with the Kalitas. First of all, what a legendary team to be associated with. You know that if you have a question or about anything, it's happened to them already.
Yeah, it's such an honor. When they came to me and said that they were interested in having me join their family, I couldn't tell you how great that was. You know, I've waited years and done my homework and researched different teams, talked to a lot of people. But, you know, with them, I just feel right at home. They're my brothers, and it's been awesome. And you just look at Connie. I mean, he sits on the wall for the whole session. He loves it. It's his passion. It's not about the money for him either. You know, he'd be out here no matter what. And everything that he's been through, he's such an inspiration for myself, too, and such a joy to be around.
It's so great to hear that, because as I watch these guys out there, and I said the other day, they defy the laws of physics and have their whole lives, but they are unable to defy the laws of nature.
Right.
And we see the Garlets and the Moldownies and the Colettas and the Snakes and these guys that are icons.
Right. I met Shirley for the first time, actually, a couple nights ago.
And how was that?
Very great. Yeah, I almost got teared up when I was talking to her. I mean, she's
an American
a hero.
icon.
Yeah.
She did it all before anybody.
Oh,
she
huge. And she did it well. She didn't just do it. She won.
Right. So not just showing up at the racetrack, but showing up at the racetrack and kicking their butts.
Definitely.
But as these icons are getting older, we need new icons to take their place. People
Good
need
role models,
to continue what they have built.
I agree, for sure. And there's a lot of new people coming in the sport as well as myself, and it's going to be exciting.
You see the little kids out there, and their eyes are like this big, looking at these cars. And
that was me when I was 16, and I first saw them go down the track.
First race experience. Let's hear it.
Winter Nationals. I went with a buddy of mine. We used to build hot rods together. And we had come to Pomona for a couple swap meets, car swap meets, and things like that. First time I'd ever even seen a drag car. I came out, Winter Nationals, sitting in the stands. We were kind of by the finish line. And I stand up, everybody's standing up, and they cover their ears. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? I look over at my friend, I'm like, you wuss? Like, what are you covering your ears for? And he's like, watch, dude. And here come these cars, fast as hell, the two Nitro Funny Cars just whiz by, and it just blew my mind. That was it for me. I wanted it. I wanted to do it right away. I was like, where do I sign up? This is it for me, for sure. They're the fastest accelerating cars in the world. How could that not be exciting for people? It's insane what they do. It's insane.
And it's perfect for our culture where we want instant gratification.
Right.
Everything is developed for instant gratification, whether it be Twitter. Do I want to go and get a newspaper that was printed yesterday? No, I want to know right this second.
Yeah.
And if I can't find out this second, I want to know what's happening a second from now.
We have such access to everything in our lives now.
And drag racing is the sport that was tailored for that culture.
Right.
4 seconds. It's me versus you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's line them up and figure out which one of us is going home early and which one is advancing.
I know, it's kind of upsetting. I wish the tracks were a little longer. I wish I could experience that 4 seconds a little bit longer. But no, it's so awesome. I love it out here. These people are fantastic, and I love racing against these guys. They're my heroes. I look up to them, and it's exciting to know that I'm going to be lining up against them.
Well, let's talk about that now. You've accomplished goals in the Alcohol Funny Car. Moving into the world of Nitro, it's a totally different kind of environment where you've got the Don Schumachers and the John Forces, and these guys have been doing it for years, and the car is a beast.
Right.
We've talked a little bit. You're more active in the Alcohol Funny Car than you are in the Nitro Funny Car, but that half-track pull is a total different world. Tell us about that.
That's the big change. The starting line in a Nitro car, you leave from a dead idle. In my alcohol car, which is, the second fastest car in the world, it pulls pretty good. We leave at 7,000 RPM, swap feet, shift, and do all that kind of stuff, and you're still pulling pretty good. But around half track, I gain about 50 mile per hour or more from half track on. But, it's nothing compared to the Nitro car. I mean, the first part of the run is, you're pulling pretty hard. But right when you think it's like, that's it pulls even harder. So at 400 feet, it was an eye-opener for me. I was expecting it to be pretty intense, and it did not disappoint me whatsoever. But yeah, that's really where the big difference is. You're not doing as much as you do in an alcohol car, but that's good because I need to focus on staying in the groove as much as possible. These things you can't, with alcohol car, you can get out of the groove a little bit. It's more forgiving. These cars are not.
It's a wrestling match in there,
Yeah.
is what I hear.
Yeah.
Now, the adrenaline of a run and sure 0 to 100 in less than a second, that is all the extreme sport part of it. But the extreme sport part of it then gets melded with
much. Everybody, stays in their pits, and nobody really helped each other out from other teams. But, still, these big businesses are involved, and it's way more intense, and there's a lot of pressure. And, you're not just letting down a small team, you're letting down, huge corporations and, tons more people when you lose. But I'm just not going to put too much pressure on myself. I just want to hopefully get down the racetrack, maybe qualify at all the races and, go from there.
Relax and have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, we talked about this being a family sport, and it's about, you don't just really happen into this usually. Someone has to guide you into it. You had a friend that brought you into it.
Right.
When you first went to your family, and I know your father's been very supportive of it.
Yeah.
But this sounds like it's ludicrous. It's like, hey, I'm going to strap myself into this rocket and then blast down 300 miles an hour. Was it initial support right away,
No.
or was like, what do you?
Not really.
Really?
Not
Of all
really.
the things out there, you're going to do this?
He always he
This?
knew I had a wild streak in me, but no, I mean, nothing like this. You know, when he first saw where you sit in a funny car, he was like, oh, no, you're not doing that. I was like, Dad, I already signed up for Frank Hawley's. I'm going to be there in 2 days. I already put down the money. He's like, but you're not doing that. And then luckily, Ashley Forrest was sitting on the back of our golf cart, and she was about to go into Nitro Funny Car too. And I brought him over and I said, okay, you got to talk to her. Right. And I asked Ashley, I go, can you just tell my dad a little bit, you know, about it? And she gave him the pros and cons. And I think he felt a little bit better about it. And then once he saw how confident I was and serious I was about everything, he felt a lot better, you know. So I definitely proved myself to my dad, and I think it settled him.
And here he is.
Hey, Lex.
Hey,
John
Dad.
Paul DeJoria.
You want to add to that story?
Let's hear the other side of it. It sounded very positive.
It was horrifying.
Oh, Jesus.
It was horrifying. And first time on the line watching her race was, oh, my God, why did I let this happen? Tears came out of the eye and all.
God.
But she went straight, she went true, and she went fast. And I think the way Alexis puts it is, this is her high, and it's a good one. And seeing my own daughter race over all these years and obviously winning a national event is just, for our entire family, a magnificent thing. And it's a sport that's American sport.
Absolutely.
And we think that's magnificent. We have our family in American sport.
Absolutely.
Very proud here. Very proud dad.
What was your background with drag racing prior to this? Because I know that you're friends with Robbie Knievel, and so
Sure.
you've seen people do things that most people would think is probably not a good idea.
Right. Well, in my day, we had San Fernando Raceway, and a guy named Tommy Ivo, who was an actor, would come out with a 2-engine car and then a 4-engine car. And I think in those days, maybe the fastest speed, this was the early 60s, was about 172, 73 miles an hour. And no one thought anyone would ever go 200 miles an hour. So, you know, so that's the roots going back there. Alexis, though, a story a lot of people are not aware of, is when she was very young, in fact, she got her license at 16. She went with me from LA to Las Vegas, and I had a Vector, one of the first Vectors made, 750 horsepower. And she drove it, and she approached with no problem at all. It freaked me out over 200, going to 200 miles an hour. It's a 227-mile-an-hour car, and handled it really, really good. Well, of course, we slowed down because at that speed, you have to look a mile ahead. It's not like today's race cars and safety equipment. She did it just great, and she did the Baja 1000 with me in a Hummer, an H1 Hummer, and went up road. She had the right touch with the gas and the brake. That's how you do it, the gas and the brake in those Hummers. And she went up sides of mountains that no roads existed on, better than some of the pros. So it's in her blood. I mean, she was meant to race and meant to be able to use her feet and do very, very well. Plus her minor reaction time. So we can't be any prouder. We are a proud family here.
That is hearing your dad talk about you like this.
That's awesome.
And to represent Patron, you know, and then look at her hair with her Paul Mitchell on her hair. Oh my God, you know.
Do you view this as a marketplace? Because I personally think that Patron makes everything better.
Oh, it definitely makes everything better. Oh yeah, and John Paul Pett, with a little John Paul Pett sticker on there. That's right. Yeah, it makes it better. It makes you feel good. Drink responsible though,
yeah,
but definitely makes you feel.
Well, you guys with Patron have been heavily involved in sports car racing on the ALMS side of things with Hycroft Racing and Scott Sharp. And I've seen that environment and I love it. And I've seen there was a big your hospitality area there. It kind of brings the party to the track. Of course, everything responsible and under control with whatever you do. Is that going to be coming to the drag strip?
Oh, definitely. Now that she's pro, we could bring some of our hospitality units in here because she is pro. But of course, we're not going to have where everyone's drinking. That's not the thing to do.
No, because it's a lot different in the drag racing world where the fans are all walking amongst hot race cars, whatever they are, they can sneak up on you real quickly.
Sure. Yeah, we'll be very, very careful. But we're proud. Very, very proud.
Well, first of all, thank you for coming on the show.
And we're going to be more and more involved, and because of our involvement, we plan to even help increase the visibility of drag racing. Did you know that professional drag racing has twice the audience of your American Le Mans? Twice the audience, or more.
Yes.
Phenomenal. We plan to help build it up a little more. We plan to build it a little more.
And there's so much room to grow. Like now we're having a conversation that happens off the air all the time. The passion that comes out of this young lady and yourself and me and my guys here, we're all here volunteering because we want to get the sport out there.
Sure.
this power and energy has to be harnessed in a way. The cars are exciting. They're cool. They all look different. They've got these wonderful paint schemes. They're loud. There's fire. Like, what could possibly be better than that in the world of racing and entertainment?
Right.
We've seen them all. We've seen everything the world has to offer, and this is right up there.
That's it.
What do you got in mind for getting it out there?
Well, one, we're going to have a couple television shows that are doing, one of them is a major show doing a special on me, and I plan to bring him to Lexus's launch in Dallas and let him film that a little bit, and of course it'll be shown throughout the world. So we plan to incorporate that a lot into what we're doing. And of course, bring some of our top customers from all over the world to some of our events, proudly.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, Alexis, it's funny because the journey you guys are both about to embark on, like, it's going to be wild. Who knows what we're going to be talking about a year, 2 years, 5 years down the road.
I know. Hopefully a championship.
And hopefully. But you got a Rookie of the Year battle.
Come here, Eloise. Come here. It's a family event. My wife, Eloise. She's filming all this to make sure that our daughter here gets a... This is Eloise.
Hi, Eloise. How are you?
I'm great.
There she goes. She's got that mic. We got it covered. What do you think about this madness out here?
Oh, boy. Well, I absolutely love Alexis more than life itself. So when I talk about it, I just want to cry. That's just what I do. But I get really scared, you know. It's so exciting. But it's her passion, and there's no denying her that, you know.
Well, when it comes to safety, though, the Coletta guys
we're so happy with Connie Coletta and this
yeah.
incredible team. Very, very happy. She's surrounded by what we consider to be the best of the best.
And she's so sharp. I mean, Alexis knows what she's doing.
This sport, as much as it's about guts, it's about intellect.
Yeah.
It's about controlling your mind and being a disciplined person because you can't make a mistake. One mistake, you're out. There's no spin and win here.
No, it's do or die. And
it's a real thing.
It. Yeah. You know, you hope to make the best choices, you know, best calculated choices. But, yeah, it's very unpredictable, and things do happen. But, you know, you do your best out there.
She did. So. I remember seeing Alexis on stage. You know, I thought, God, she's just such a great stage actress. You know, I thought she's so together and goes and memorizes her lines, doesn't even get scared.
That was before drag racing.
I mean, I knew she loved cars as she got into her teens, but...
Yeah, I was a bit of a street racer when I was a kid. So not trying to glorify it, but
a big street racer. Oh, I got to tell you the story.
Oh God!
I believe in giving my kids used cars. Even my son today, they'll get used cars, 2 years or more. So I told Alexis, you got to have a used car. She says, Dad, how about if I have a van? I said,
like
there's
a
this
truck.
new thing.
It was like a truck.
Like a truck. She's like a truck van. It's a new thing coming out called like a van SUV. I said, she's kind of like a truck and a van. I said, Alexa, of course you get it. She says, and it's 2.5 years old. So we go down there to get it, right? And while I'm going down there to get it, I have my buddy Clint Eastwood on the phone. I said, oh, Clint, it's really cool. Alexis is getting a van, kind of a thing called an SUV, and I'm taking her down to get it right now. He says, oh, how cool, JP. He says, yeah, it's called a Typhoon. He says, a Typhoon? He says, John Paul, I just sold one. He says, that's a hot rod. That thing is so fast, they're going to probably make them illegal. I did a year later. So, but she didn't get in a wreck. She did okay with it. So, but she slipped it in there. Slipped it in there. She slipped it in there.
She's sneaky, too.
Yeah, she's sneaky. Slipped it in there. She didn't lie. She didn't lie.
No,
but it was. I had no idea how fast those things were.
It's a used
it fit
car,
the criteria.
Yeah, it's a used car. Yeah, it's kind of like a truck.
Wait a second,
hold
on. She found the gray areas in the rule
book,
she did, and she exploited the gray areas in the rule. You are a racer already.
That was pretty amazing.
She likes speed all of her life. She likes speed.
I love it. And I'm happy that we've got such a great family coming into the sport, and I know you guys are going to do a lot of good. So thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing a little bit of your family with us.
My pleasure, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Alexis. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And again, this party in Dallas, excellent stuff.
Yes.
And this is what the sport needs. I wish you the best of luck with it and hope you all have a great time.
A lot more to come.
Excellent. Thank you, John. Thank you, Alexis. Thank you very much. Alexis DeJoria, the DeJoria family with us here from the U.S. Nationals, the Big Go in Indy. We'll be back after this on WFO Radio.
The Mac Tools U.S. Nationals on WFO Radio.